Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Monday Night Raw results, along with Superstar Spoilers and birthdays. Happy birthday goes to former WWE Intercontinental Champion Ken Patera, turned 73 years old, while Magnus from TNA turned 28 on November 6th. Also, Ring of Honor and CZW Tag Team Champion Johnny Cashmere turned 37. Shimmer Tag Team Champion Hiroyo Matsumoto turned 30. And Mexican legend Mascara Sagrada turned 56. On November the 7th, King Kong Bundy turned 58. Indie star Joey Ryan turned 36. Mark Muhammad Hassan Kapani turned 34. And former WCW announcer Tony Schiavone turned 57. November the 8th, happy birthday goes to former WWE superstar Ted DiBiase Jr. turned 33. Two-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada turned 28. November the 9th, happy birthday goes to former WWE and WCW referee Nick Patrick turned 56. One-time World Tag Team Champion Nick Mitchell turned 33. And Grand Slam Champion Chris Jericho turned 45. NXT Diva Nia Jax recently spoke with WWE's website for a full interview on the WWE website. Here are the highlights. What got her into wanting a WWE career in her tryout? I remember being ringside at WrestleMania 28, watching my cousin Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson face Cena, and I'm thinking to myself, I have to do this. I remember arriving to my tryout and being extremely nervous, but the second I stepped in the ring, I knew this was where I was supposed to be. Then she comments on being part of the WWE NXT's women's division. NXT women have literally changed women's wrestling, and being able to be a part of the division is great for me. I am completely different than any other diva that we have in NXT, and having that advantage of being unique allows me to expand the revolution even further by showing people what a woman of my size can do. Ultimately, I want to convey an image of a beautiful, strong, and confident woman. I want young girls to be inspired to love themselves and strive to follow their dreams no matter what. Stars commenting on Seth Rollins' injury and vacating the title. And Triple H says, that which does not kill you makes you stronger. Well, Jane Storm comments on Twitter at Jane Storm Brand. Hashtag opportunities. And Kyle Edwards from WWE at Kyle Edwards WWE. As Seth Rollins recovers, at WWE Universe, even those who don't like him will miss him. He is that good in the ring. Hashtag get well soon, Seth. Top indie stars Rich Swann and Biff Busick made their WWE NXT live event debuts in Halloween costume Battle Royal. Two were formally introduced to the NXT fans in a live event in Jacksonville, Florida, with a ring announcer, Joshua Fuentes. I'll post that link for you there. And a correspondent in attendance noted that Swan oozed charisma and seemed to really be having fun. And there will actually be like 3 links. All Twitter. Ben Talks WWE. Writer's Block. Katie Loud. And also Instagram. Aaron Bonwan. The Boogeyman is the latest wrestler to sign a WWE Legends deal. WWE confirmed the signing on their website with the following. As he revealed on Friday by Twitter, the Boogeyman, he's coming to get you, has one of the scariest superstars to ever set foot in a WWE ring and has signed a Legends contract. Both through his powerful arsenal and his tactics that included an abnormal affinity for worms, the Boogeyman made quite an impact during his WWE tenure, The creepy competitor terrified opponents in WWE and ECW, which included a heated rivalry with WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, which led to a victorious effort for the nightmare-fueled superstar at WrestleMania 22. And congratulate him, the Boogeyman, for joining the Legends. Back in October, WWE had signed twin brothers Gabriel Ely and Uriel Ely. I'll post a picture of that above. The brothers were trained under Angel Armani at MIAW, wrestling in Milwaukee, and had roles as extras on WWE TV in early September 2014. Gabriel has done some modeling work, while Uriel was a high school basketball standout. And again, look at the photo of them hanging out at Friday's NXT live event in Jacksonville, Florida. John Cena tweeted a video here, as is on Twitter, saying it's testing week. Ugly, but they all count. He only lifted 364 pounds, and he said, at Tap Out Now, time to move forward, at Hard Knocks South on Twitter. Again, go look at that link, and you can see what he lifted. I think it was a deadlift. Daniel Bryan spoke with a statesman in India while on a recent WWE promotional tour in the country. Full interview can be found. He comments on WWE stars facing overexposure. Now, what we see in a 3-hour Raw and a 2-hour SmackDown, while the previous generation's struggle was getting exposure. We battle overexposure. So the ones who handle overexposure the best and manage to not get the fans bored are the ones who end up wrestling for years. They know how to interact with people in all settings, so it's just natural that they become popular. Then he comments on working with Kane. Literally, working with Kane was one of the finest parts of my career. It took me to the next level. People couldn't wait to see us together on TV because we're really entertaining. He has wrestled for a while, and he has been wrestling for a long time. With all the great guys, including The Rock, Steve Austin. So it was a great learning experience. Kane is a wonderful human being. He is a pleasure to be around. Then he comments on frustration of being out of action. My wife is a wrestler, so she is in the ring, and I'm here just sitting. It's difficult. When I am upset, when I'm angry, wrestling was always there as an outlet. I could go drop and kick you. Could call your mom and you can call your sister. But sometimes you just need a physical outlet. I don't know how to cope with this situation currently. This following video from Zombie Woods WWE endorsed Up Up Down Down YouTube channel featuring the final second round matchup in the Madden tournament with Kalisto versus The Miz. The winner faces Jack Swagger. The botches from guest general manager Ric Flair continue on the current WWE European tour. Noted before, Ric Flair referred to WWE NXT champion Finn Balor as Fit Finley the other night, and now we've heard at least 2 more shows where he's called ring announcer Eden by her real name, Brandy Rhodes. And this next link will takes you to a page of Make-A-Wish with WWE Community. Join in to find out who has joined in. WrestleMania 32 rematch possible with the Dudleys versus DX. As Billy and Road Dogg challenge was made on Twitter, and you can see that on here for proof. Twitter.com/Road Dogg. WWE Road Dogg. Just go to the link. Hall of Famer Sergeant Slaughter recently spoke with the San Antonio Current to promote WrestleMania 32. The full video can be the full interview can be at this link. As he comments, Who would you like to see inducted into the 2016 WWE Hall of Fame in April? I'm hoping to see the fabulous Freebirds get in. I know all the Von Erichs might be in already. I believe there are so many great superstars that came out of Texas. It's fun for me not to know. I want to be surprised. I want to be excited just like everybody else. It's one of my favorite nights of the whole year to go to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. A new documentary on Jake the Snake Roberts was released this year that talks about Jake's life as a wrestler and his struggles with addiction. The story isn't a rare one for former WWE wrestlers. Do you think that story is still an important one to tell? As the Sarge comments, I think it's important for Jake to tell his story. A lot of people didn't know what happened to him and how it happened. He's one of the better characters and performers we had. He just kind of fell off the map. I haven't seen the documentary myself, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've run into him a couple of times, and he is the same guy. He still rags on me because I participated in some of his first matches. He told me I made him do things that he has never done before in the ring. He just smiled and grins about it. It sounds like it's a good time to be part of the WWE. It's a good time to be in the WWE and a good time to say that you're part of it. As a legend and as someone in the Hall of Fame, people respect you for the road you paved to keep it going. I always get the chance to thank the talent of today for all their hard work because they continue what we set out to do. Now, here we are at WrestleMania 32. Well, R-Truth and Cesaro learning skills from earlier on Monday when they met with a rugby team called the Reeds Rhinos. And you can go to these links here, twitter.com. Batista, Titus O'Neil, and the Navy SEAL Museum 30th Annual Muster and Music Festival on Friday. Titus was a primary speaker for the event. Also in attendance was Batista. And go to Instagram for Titus's account. WWF Hall of Famer Mick Foley recently spoke with AuburnPub.com to promote Northeast Wrestling's Prison City Slam event in Auburn, New York. Full interview at this link here. But here are the highlights. What kind of effect do you think WWE developmental brand NXT is having on the independent wrestling scene? And his answer, I certainly think it shines a light on how much great talent is out there on the scene. We used to have a tendency to look down on indie wrestlers. Now indie wrestlers are looked at and treated with a new respect. It's a conversation I just had with some of the indie guys. Having come from an indie background myself, I understood how difficult it is to work hard each night in wrestling speak, get over with a different audience without the benefit of known interest music. That Pavlovian response, an established fan base. So I think NXT is great for indie wrestling. And knowing that when we come to Auburn, fans may very well be seeing the stars of the future of the wrestling business. Another question. You've been very outspoken about your support for women's wrestling, which is starting to be taken more seriously, particularly in NXT. What do you think it'll take for WWE itself to turn that corner? And his answer, I think the only thing that remains is to change the established patterns of wrestling fans who for years saw Divas matches as a time to get up and take a break. So most people are catching on, are taking note of the marked improvement in the women's division. I think calling it the women's division, dropping the Divas moniker, is the next logical step in that progression. Next question was about his daughter Noelle, as she's developed quite a following among wrestling fans with her presence on social media, and she's also a friend of mine on Twitter as well. Does she have any plans to work in pro wrestling? I asked her myself, and She said, never say never. But Mick says that I would love for Noelle to be on the other side of the business, the non-wrestling side. But the truth is that if she were to come to Auburn High, she would outdraw me as far as autographs. She definitely draws a crowd. We all grew up loving wrestling, and we still do. And that was the highlights of his interview. Former National Wrestling Champion and four-time All-American Champion Josh Woods has been working with the NXT live events lately and is now wearing a mask during his entrance. Does not wrestle with it on, though. He just makes his entrance with it. And is receiving some very positive reviews. And I'll show you a pic for you. A fan who attended Friday's NXT panel in London just had word that NXT champion Finn Balor teased he might help Kane and The Undertaker battle the Wyatt family at Survivor Series. This should be taken strictly as a rumor for now, as Balor may have been joking around. As noted, both Taker and Balor are backstage at Raw in Manchester, England. PW Insider noted that Balor is not currently written into the script for the show, so don't expect him to be on the show. WWE NXT champion Finn Balor was seen leaving the WWE hotel earlier today with the rest of the crew, including The Undertaker. According to reader Jay Miles, Balor will be backstage for Raw in Manchester, but there is no regular live event tonight, so all WWE talents are on tour are likely required to be at Raw. There has been a lot of fan speculation that due to the absence of Seth Rollins, John Cena, and Randy Orton, that we may see Balor make a TV appearance this week. WWE Performance Center coach Norman Smiley is hosting WWE tryouts before today's Raw in Manchester. And I'll show another photo for you. And on with the show. Former WWE star Nick Eugene Dinsmore is now launching his Midwest All-Pro Wrestling promotion in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Keolin.com has an article about a portion of proceeds from the event will go to the local Sioux Falls veterans of foreign wars, which is called VFW Post. As Dinsmore commented on why he's running the show and bringing in war veteran Michael P.S. Hayes. That's Michael B.S. Hayes, not the WWE agent, to headline the program. I knew I wanted to do a show that gave back to the community. I wanted to do a show that gave back to the local veterans and to have a veteran come out and participate. A friend of mine, a guy that I trained in professional wrestling, indescribable. Epics has posted a clip looking at Batista and his Mr. Hinks character, and you can go to this link for the picture in the new James Bond 007 Spectre. The most recent deal that TNA was looking at, offering current United States champion Alberto Del Rio, was reportedly around the $300,000 range, with Del Rio still being allowed to work indies and dates in Mexico. As noted, TNA had been talking with the Manhattan Center in New York City about running Impact Wrestling tapings in 2016. For what it's worth, the roster hasn't been given any hints about future dates and are only aware of the mini tours in India next month and the UK tour in January. TNA star Andrew Everett re-injured a knee that he had surgery on just last year while in the UK and will be out of action for quite a while. He tweeted the following on October 27th at Andrew Everett, "We won't know anything until I get home to receive an MRI, but it's possible I have re-injured my repaired ACL injury from last year." And he comments again, "Sorry to everyone here in England hoping to see me wrestle. I need a stable knee to do so, which I don't have at the moment." WWE officials and writers will be spending the next few days rewriting most of the current future storylines, including WrestleMania 32 plans, as Seth Rollins is out of action and has vacated the title. And apparently will be out 6 to 9 months. WWE had plans for Roman Reigns versus Rollins to main event this month's Survivor Series pay-per-view and the December TLC pay-per-view. We don't know exactly when the change would have taken place, but creative plans have Rollins dropping the World Heavyweight title to Reigns, according to PW Insider. The plan going into 2016 WrestleMania season was for Reigns to be champion. No word yet on how those plans for Reigns will factor into Survivor Series tournament to crown a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And don't forget, Sheamus still has some Money in the Bank briefcase, so he may cash in. Rollins flew back home from the UK on November 6th and will be heading back home to Iowa. Surgery has not been scheduled as of yet, from November 6th all the way up to today, being November the 9th. Xavier Woods confirmed on Twitter that the injured Seth Rollins will still be competing in the Up, Down, Down Madden tournament. Rollins actually recorded his segment last night after news came out about his injury. And here's a photo. You can go to twitter.com, Up, Down, Down. As it says, Up, Down, Down Madden tournament update. Proof at WWE Rollins is still in our at EA Madden NFL 16 tournament. He and Real Curtis Axel had their semifinal last night. Nerdist released a clip of the Heist movie, which comes out next weekend with Robert De Niro, Batista, Gina Carano, and others. And it's actually got a small little clip on the lordsofpain.net. And I'll post that link right there for you to see the video. Condemned 2 was out on demand now. Of course, that stars Randy Orton. And there's a clip again for that Condemned film. New Internet Championship belt created and hosted, retweeted, whatever, by Xavier Woods, as this fan created Up, Down, Down title for the 2K16 video game. Apparently, it's available for the entire community now. Pro wrestling legend Bill Goldberg is lifting the shroud off of one of WWE's most famous gimmicks, saying Stone Cold Steve Austin was more spit than swallow when it came to beer drinking in the ring. There's also a link that he posted. I think I got it somewhere in there. That's when Goldberg broke the bad news about the unforgettable news, saying that not only is no match between him and the Rattlesnake imminent, but that Austin never really drank the beers. That's when to see if he really drank the beer, you can go to the link. So search for it on. And I also watched it on live TV. Didn't have time to swallow it anyways, because he just poured beers. He came out of his mouth, so he may have swallowed a little bit, but that's your opinion. WWE's official Twitter account posted a link to a new WWE.com article dealing with a surprise superstar appearance in the past. Oddly enough, the one name WWE used to promote the article on social media is AJ Styles. Why would they do it if they aren't going to bring him in? An obvious, what's best for business idea. By the way, why not throw him into the title picture at the present time? That would be a smart time to do it. But just my opinion. As they tweeted, at AJStyles.org appeared in at WWE. Watch the Rising Stars compete in the square circle. And go to the link. Dark match main event was advertised as Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Kane versus Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, and Braun Strowman. Obviously, that match going to have a change. Because Seth Rollins injured. And there was no results for that posted, so what I don't have, I can't give you. WWE take the following matches from Manchester, England for this week's Superstars. Fandango versus Bo Dallas, Ryback, and the Dudleys versus Stardust and the Ascension. And the results for that, Fandango defeated Bo Dallas. And Ryback and the Dudleys defeated Stardust and the Ascension. Mark Stopper was at the Raw tapings in Manchester, England, and passed along the following report for the Superstars taping. More detailed than the previous. Fandango defeated Bo Dallas. A huge pop for Fandango, who won with the top rope leg drop. Back to his big-time finisher. Match number 2, the Dudley Boys and Ryback defeated Stardust and the Ascension as Dudley Boys and Ryback won with the 3D. They said Raw started and played the theme, but Superstars remained on the big screen, so this would seem to be a Superstars match. Meanwhile, Pro Wrestling.net reader Tom Johnson wrote to add, Cody went to look underneath the ring and quickly pulled the apron back in place. I saw somebody, but I'm not sure who was under the ring. Perhaps a surprise entrance for someone tonight. And Raw from Manchester, England. Here are the results. W Championship belt was in the middle of the ring to start Raw. Triple H came out and explained that due to Seth Rollins suffering a major knee injury last week at a live event, the title is now officially vacant. A tournament to crown a new champion begins tonight and will conclude at Survivor Series. The crowd chanted, "Thank you, Rollins." Roman Reigns' music hit and interrupts, and out he comes to the ring through the crowd. Reigns tells and declares that he is going to be the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Triple H asks Reigns if he wants to be the Authority's new chosen one and puts the title on Reigns' shoulder. Reigns rejects the offer. Triple H calls out Reigns' first round tournament opponent, Big Show. Roman Reigns defeated Big Show by pinfall. The crowd was very rowdy during this one, doing the wave and chanting boring. And you fat bastard at Big Show. Well, Reigns came out with a Superman punch, but only briefly got Big Show. He had to do it a second time. Then a third time, boom, spear, over with. Second match, Kevin Owens defeated Titus O'Neil as Owens cut a good heel promo before the match and won with a pop-up powerbomb. Owens stopped and stared at the title at ringside for a pop. Then Owens advances in the next round. Backstage segment is Paige speaking to Renee Young about Charlotte and the Divas Championship. Paige will face Becky Lynch tonight. Becky defeated Paige with a handful of tights. Paige attacked Becky after the match and applied the PTO on the announce table. Charlotte came out as Paige broke the hold and walked away. Another tournament match, Dolph Ziggler defeated The Miz with a super kick. After the match, Ziggler grabbed the belt from ringside and raised it high above his head, which got a huge reaction from the crowd. Alberto Del Rio and Zeb Coulter came out and cut a promo about Mex America. They talked about foreign relations between England and the United States, and it's announced that Del Rio will face Stardust in a tournament match for SmackDown. Natalya defeated Naomi. Lots of "We want Sasha" throughout the match, and even she was saying, "We want Sasha." Well, afterwards, Sasha attacked Naomi, but Natalya put her in the sharpshooter as Tamina then attacked Natalya, and Sasha put Natalya in the bank statement until she tapped out. Sheamus and King Barrett came out for a promo about the WWE Championship Tournament. Manchester United captain Wayne Rooney was at ringside, and Barrett trash talked him to get the crowd going. And the next match was Cesaro defeating Sheamus after a distraction. Barrett and Sheamus had been exchanging words as Wade Barrett was going around, stood in front of the guy's face, and the guy slapped him, which Sheamus was awing about. Well, he turns around and catches a roll-up from Cesaro. Next tournament match was Dean Ambrose defeating Tyler Breeze with a small package. This was described as a good match for a debut for Raw for Tyler Breeze. WWE Tag Team Champions The New Day defeated Usos and Neville in a 6-man action when Xavier Woods pinned Neville. As Neville had been setting up for the Red Arrow but got shoved off the top rope. New Day was most over for the entire show, most over actor of the entire show. And your main event of Raw was the Wyatt family paying tribute to The Undertaker and Kane. As Bray was speaking, Undertaker and Kane came out to confront them. There was a huge brawl, and the Brothers of Destruction stood tall to end the show. Thanks again. Peace out. See you one on one video. By the way, if you don't know, you better call me, bro.